Welcome back to the channel. This is Wasabi. This is a battle on the Ruinberg map. I'm playing the type T-34. What we're going to see in this battle is how to basically come back from a situation where you're behind and show that, with a bit of cooperation from your teammates, how you can recover from that and then win the battle. So we're in a medium tank and we're going to head to the middle. Heavy tanks go to the city and the scouts go basically all over the place. Now the PZ-38ANA is a bot, but he's discovered two T-67s who've rushed up to the centre, probably trying to be able to take shots down the centre line. Now we managed to get a hit into one of the T-67s, but we don't get spotted. Now that would be related to the fact that we're double bushed. Now, I've actually got binocs equipped on this, so I've just changed to that in my equipment, but the other equipment I'm using just for interest is I'm using the improved rotation mechanism, which gives benefits in dispersion when you're moving your turret, as well as giving you faster rotation of both the hull and the turret. So there's the enemy M10 there, just try and put a shot into him, but he just pulls out of the way in time, but he's getting hit by various tanks. But have a look at the city. All the heavy tanks from the enemy side are basically pushing through there, and although we're equal on in this situation at the moment in terms of both tanks lost and damage, the situation is going to change fairly quickly. Now we were spotted just before, but we pulled back and we're just trying to get some shots in on this T-34. We're at maximum range. He's actually outside view range, but because he's being spotted by tanks in the center, he's within the absolute draw range, which is the red outer circle on the mini-map, and therefore, he can take shots from here, which makes this an effective spot for sniping. Now this the T-28 EF-30, which is a premium tier 4 tank. It's got a very punchy gun on it, so we want to make sure that if we can eliminate him. Just caught a glimpse of the M10 there, but he's behind buildings, so we don't really get an opportunity. Now we do get spotted there, and the M10's basically put 2 hits into us. So we're backing away as fast as we can. And we're probably possibly lit from the road, the middle road, but now we're unlit, so we're just going to take a look down there to see whether that was the case, whether there's anyone that we need to be concerned about. But you can also see on the mini-map that the town has been lost, that all the tanks we had in that location are gone. So the T-67 and I decide at the same time we better go back and defend, get onto the area around the side of our cap area where there's a bit of protection, both in terms of buildings and bushes, so that we can look into it. Now, got Provo Bob on our side in his arty. He's always a bit of an asset in artillery, and he's possibly the one who spotted the KV-1. Be interesting to know whether Bob has got binocs mounted on it. It's not an uncommon thing, but a T-67's moved into position and he's starting to pump rounds into the KV-1. We're just waiting for our aim to settle down, and he's left on 81 hit points. We managed to put him out of his misery and send him back to the garage. Now, we were spotted then. Not sure if that was the KV-1 or not. We were maximum range for him, but it's probably another tank nearby him who picked us up. So we back into cover as quickly as possible. We don't want to lose any more health. Now, we're setting up here with the T-67 on this side to cover the road going into the center. And I'm just moving up to get a bit closer. You can look at the mini-map. Now, this is the size I run of the mini-map in games to give me more information about what's going on in the battle. So I suggest that you use your mini-map in a similar way. The circles there indicate the view range, the maximum view range and the maximum draw range, plus the white circle around my tank is the proximity spotting range, just for information. Now the Valiant's been spotted there. We don't necessarily have a shot. We're just moving our reticle around carefully. The Panzer 3J there was in shot, but just moved back into cover. But we're going to sit here and cover this space for a little while. There's the Valiant. We try and put a shot into him, but he just pulls back in time. So right now, if you look at the numbers, we are 4 tanks against, what's that? Can't count these days. But, they've got an advantage of 4 tanks now. It's down to 3 tank advantage. But that's with the DW2, which was a bot tank. Now, the issue with bot tanks is not so much that they're inaccurate, is that they'll drive up and basically spot you. So we don't want to be spotted by those tanks. So it's important to take them out, not just so that we get the damage for that, but basically to remove the threat that they will spot you and therefore allow the other tanks played by normal players to shoot at you. So I'm going to stay in this position. It's going to take a couple of minutes here, but we're now back to 4 tanks down, and we've got a significant difference in hit points available to us, which indicates that either our tanks are damaged or whatever. It's not really clear at this point given the number of tanks difference. But anyway, it just gives you an idea. You've got to look at those numbers and get an idea of the sense of the issue. So I'll just speed up a little bit. We're not going to see much, just moving forward here periodically to spot. Now we get the Panzer IIIJ there, just moving back normal speed. Get one shot into him, that makes him pull back. Now he's probably realised that the DW2 went out and got killed, and he's getting spotted, whether he's got 6th sense or not, but he did get hit. So we're just going to keep covering this area. I've got a binocs up, so we're picking him up at a view range that he probably can't see us. I think with the binocs on, my view range is about 472 meters, which his view range, unless he's got optics loaded, is probably around the 350 meter range, so we're probably outside of his view range. Now we are covering this area here. The T-67 on our team has moved up. We're still 3 tanks down. The enemy's managed to take out one of their T-67s, and we'll just make sure that I'll just speed up a little bit again just to take some time out. But basically the T-67 is moving up to the center, and we're just waiting here in case those 2 tanks, the Valiant, come down. But we noticed there that the PZ-3J just spotted him going through the city center, and therefore it looks like he's coming around to try and flank. Now there's that T-28 FE, just trying to get shots on him. The T-67 is moving around to basically try and pump some shots in. We managed to get 1 hit on him, and then the T-67 destroys him. So that takes out a threat that was trying to flank us, and we're just being careful in moving around that we don't basically drive out into what enemies can spot us. But there you notice on the minimap the PZ-3J has now been spotted by the T-67 in the center. So we're going to move up, and again, just being careful. We drive out into the open is always dangerous, so we just drive out and make sure that we can't see those 2 tanks from where we are. We've got cover from the buildings there, so that makes this trip relatively safe, and we'll get out of view range on there. And again, notice the circles. Try and keep the enemy on the outer edge of your view range circle, or the maximum range, so that you basically know that you can't be spotted unless there's another tank there. Now that's right at this point in time, so I notice the M10 is spotted at our base, and again that was probably Provo Bob with his binocs running, and he's just backing away. So we scoot around, find him there, lock the target on, get a quick snapshot in, and shoot him just as we're spotted. So that gets rid of that threat, and get some thanks from Bob as we get back into the center. But yeah, essentially here what we're doing, 3 tanks remaining, we've pulled it back to equal 12 all, so we've even got a slight hit point advantage. So we know they've got an arty, a Valiant, it's called a medium tank but relatively heavy with strong armor, and the Panzer IIIJ as a tier 4. So still in the balance, but we think we've got the upper hand now because we're cooperating. So we haven't seen anything from the enemy arty, so potentially he's not even talking to his team or discussing shots that he's aiming at and that sort of thing. But here we're just moving into a position in the center which will give some vision down the center road. This is a strong position in Clan Wars, for example, where you can take up a position and dominate this area. So we're now just going to push further forward. Again, these tanks that we're up against do have more limited view range. We're just getting this location here. We've got the wreck of the M8A1 that we can use as cover if we need to, and we're just again searching down the line, and we can spot the Valiant. Now you can see he's only on 54 hit points, so it's not going to be a big threat as long as we stay out of range. There, the M41's been spotted, and we lock in a few shots on him and manage to take him out. So we are now one tank up, and they've just got the two tanks left, the Panzer IIIJ and the Valiant, and we're just keeping our vision going, but deciding that they'll probably make one more push towards the cap, given the way the Valiant was heading. So again, I'm taking a more circuitous route just in case one of those two tanks is on the edge of the city and has us in his view range. So it's just being careful, but we've got a fairly fast tank, being in a medium tank, and we've got plenty of time to get back. So as we're moving back, you can see the base cap just started, so that confirms my suspicion. We've got our T-67 on cap, but nonetheless he's going to come off pretty quickly, and I'm heading towards our cap area basically to light targets and basically put damage in basically to prevent any capture. So 2 tanks on cap means that's all the tanks that are there from the enemy side, and we're just going to move up to this point here where with our binocs on we can cover the view range circle. We don't spot anything straight away, but probably just right there the Valiant moved, which broke his camo, and we get a shot on him and kill him. Now we do get lit when we do that by the 3J, so we put some cover between us and him just in case he's trying to shoot back, and we'll move forward and see if we can get another shot on him, but he eventually gets destroyed by the T-67. So that's the battle. So we're going to look at the damage, but that was a comeback from a big position down. So not your normal results screen, just going to show you basically who was there at the end of the battle and what contribution they made. You can see the 3 of us who at the end of the battle are in the top 4. Shout out to Blackamy with his T-67 for the amount of damage he did, and Provo Bob for not being the complainer. Obviously we didn't give him a reason to complain. I did 1,018 direct damage and 480 odd of assisted damage, so nearly 1,500 combined, which I'm pretty happy with, although the amount of experience wasn't what I thought, but most of it was indirect through spotting from others, so not too bad. Did come out with a slight loss, premium ammo just to make sure that we captured the win, but just this really to show you that you can come back from a bad situation as long as you've got your cooperation of your team. So good luck to you in future battles, and any comments are welcome. Thank you.